All right, there we are. Why am I the host? And I have to ask the people in the green room if we're live yet. That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, we are live. It is just a smidge afternoon on the East Coast here, Friday, April 18th. For some, it's going to be a long holiday weekend. And we can't start the holiday weekend, though, until we get a little of this small biz breakdown stuff out of the way. Oh, so as usual, I'd like to start with my greetings going as far away from me as we possibly can. And that would be Leland from Oregon. Hey, Leland from Oregon.
It's good to be here. Ready for the weekend, relax a little bit. Easter, we do it a little unconventional. We're doing curry. Curry for Easter.
Okay. Is that like on the turkey, or is there a turkey involved at all? Or
no turkey, no ham, just some beef, some chicken, some curry. We're planning on both Indian curry and some Japanese curry.
Oh, so it's got an international curry flavor here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just something different.
Something different. Well, I like a little something different, but I also like a little something that I can count on, I can rely on, I can depend on every week. And that would be Shashi from DC. Hey, Shashi.
Hey, everybody. Brent, Leland, so glad to join you all today. I heard your curry project for the weekend. Congratulations.
It's going to be delicious.
Congratulations. All right. Let's see if we can keep the curry theme. No, we don't have Steph Curry, but we do have Ramon Ray coming from New Jersey. Kind of rhymes with curry.
Good.
Do you have a curry story? Do you have a curry story for us?
Actually, Brent, I do. When I was 9 years old, I sound like Kevin O'Leary. No, he has these stories. People are like, no, it can't be. But he's like, no, actually, when I was on a yacht, I did rescue. Anyways, when I was 9 years old, as you may know, Brent, my family are full-time ministers. My parents are preachers, pastors. When I was 9 years old, we moved to Maryland, where the training center of our church is. And for a variety of historical reasons, 60, 70, 80% of our church are all from India, and that's where my love of biryani, chicken tikka masala, curries, fish curry, goat curry, chicken curry, chapati, naan, pickle, all of it came through. So Indian food is my favorite food in the world.
Very cool. All right, so we have a very pronounced theme running through our introductions today. Who knew it was going to go there, but can we keep it rolling? We're going to have to see if the bold one, some call him the cold one, John Cold Ice Lawson has a curry story that will continue on today. So do you? Yo, your audio is jacked.
Is it really?
You sound like Froggy.
No.
Oh my God!
It sounds very hot, John. You can fix it, I'm sure. Probably, I don't know what you didn't get his Brent. Well, your audio.
Yeah, you're clipping. You're hot and you're foggy. Other than that, you sound just like you usually do.
You probably bought that before the tariffs. You need to buy it again. That's probably what happened, John. Actually, why don't you hit buy again and get a new set?
Is that better?
That's way better.
What did you do? What happened? What'd you do?
No, it was still on my headphones.
Oh, okay.
I put it to the other mic. So yeah.
In other words, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. All right. So you heard there's a curry line going through each of our intros today. Can you add to that?
Absolutely. I'm making curry tonight.
Okay.
So there you go. And I've got this. I got this curry recipe from the internet. It's like quick because I love chickpeas and I love Indian flavors. So it's quick chickpea curry, and it comes from canned chickpeas and some canned tomatoes. You put them all in a pot with some curry and some other flavors, and it's like you would think there was actually somebody that knew what they were doing in the kitchen, and it's just me.
That is amazing.
I'm amazed that every one of y'all had a curry story.
There's always a curry story, bro.
I don't have a curry story unless we start talking about.
You don't eat real food. You only eat processed food. So
that's not true at all. Anyway, by the way, Shashi, are you saying hello to us or to like other people?
Oh no, anybody who comments.
Okay, just want to make sure I got that.
And by the way, Shashi, my guess, Shashi, is you're having lasagna or spaghetti tonight for dinner. That's my guess.
No, I'm not sure, but it's quite possible that we are going to have lasagna.
I figured.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I almost shudder to walk away from all the curry talk, but we do have a bit of a show to do. So you might want to get started in that.
Just a bit.
And as usual, every week I ask you. Well, wait, no, Ivana made a request that she kind of misses the opening little trivia question I give to you guys.
Ivana's not here.
I know, but I still bought it because I didn't know she was going to be making it. So I actually have a little bit of a question. So why don't we do that in honor of Ivana? Let's see if I can bring this up. I hope I'm not giving you the answer. That would be terrible. All right. No. All right. So I just started scouring and asking our favorite AI, give me some good trivia questions. All right. So this might be one. And I don't want to see nobody like asking or typing away, asking ChatGPT or Perplexity. This is just off the top of your domes. I want your answer. All right. What is now considered one of the most trusted platforms for product and service reviews, with 82% of Gen Z users trusting reviews found? Oh my God.
That's easy.
That's what threw me off.
The answer is right there, damn it.
That's what threw me off. I was like,
Well, I okay.
but can we do this, Brent? How about this, Brent? We can salvage this. Can we pretend we didn't see it?
No, we're going on to another one.
Oh, because I
Oh, what was the answer? Because I wasn't.
Oh my God, read the damn look.
I wasn't. I'm not looking at the
Read the slide.
no, don't have him read it, Brent.
I just want him to read it.
I can't.
I'm pretty sure that would have been easy too. I mean, Reddit has been one of those platforms that people just talk about products and everything. I mean, and Google is sending everyone to Reddit anyways, so it's
That's
partially...
you would know that in particular there, Leland. Let me see if let me see if you guys know this. What percentage of Reddit users now rely on AI generated recommendations to find new content?
I don't understand the question.
I thought we did that already.
Yeah, I don't understand the question.
What percentage of Reddit users now go to Reddit from AI generated recommendations?
Oh, you mean?
Oh.
What percentage?
23.
Thank you for
23. I'm
How
going to go.
Well, yeah. How are they finding Reddit?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
For their AI generated recommendation.
Oh.
65.
You want to guess there, Leland? Are you going to stick with?
No, he's going to stick there because anything that Leland says, I go far away from. He said 23. I automatically jumped to 65. Automatically.
All right. So we got 65. We got 23.
42.
All right. You're taking the Ivana number. That's what we're calling that now. 42 is now. You could just say Ivana whenever you want to use 42. Right. All right. So we got 23. We got 42. We got 65. You want to go with something in the 50s there, Shashi? Or
no, I'm actually going to double down on 80%.
Wow.
See, I think Shashi be cheating. I think Shashi is over there cheating.
No.
I'm thinking
I agree, Brent. He looks like the honest guy. He pretends he's so honest, but I think when he comes here from 12 to 1, he switches. Something switches.
Really?
That's funny. All right.
I have a personal experience. Like, I'm planning a vacation in July. Google, useless. TripAdvisor, that I used to trust, useless. Everybody is giving me the same answers, which are not always the best answers that I want. So I'm just going to Reddit and finding out if somebody answered the question. It happened not only just for travel, but I was trying to reset a product because it wasn't working well. The only place I found the solution was Reddit. I mean, I can't imagine that most of the ways that people get information have now become useless.
How often do you guys use Reddit for that kind of stuff? I don't think I really use Reddit much.
I had a period of time when I was in there because it is pretty cool, but it just overwhelmed with so much stuff I'm working on. So yeah, it's good, but I rarely use it.
What's your go-to still?
ChatGPT is amazing. Again, I'm amazed at how ChatGPT or Claude. I put a whole proposal document, stuff we do, right? We're influencers into it. It was pretty good. I've done it for years. I've made great money with my own proposals. I put it in the ChatGPT. I must say it made it 110% better.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're seeing a lift in the conversions from ChatGPT proposals, or
Well, I haven't measured the conversion exactly yet, but I know it's making it better. It made the proposals I've done.
makes the process easier for you to
Yes.
okay. That makes sense.
But that's you're not comparing the same thing, right? Like I think Reddit is now being used by people who want information versus a functionality like you're doing, right?
Mhm.
And I don't go to Reddit directly. Reddit is part of the results that come up in either Google or other places.
Yeah.
Hey, Pierre. Pierre says, I don't use Reddit. It has changed over the years as an extension of tech debugging discussions. But I am imagining. Damn, did I just say imaging? Imagining AI taking a lead and being a resource. Well, let's see. Let's see about that. I think I got
It's coming.
I think I got something on that. Let's see.
And hey, Pierre, I just want to shout you out, man. Your consistency over the years and being here and how amazing you are. Thanks for being here. Go ahead, Brent.
Absolutely. Okay, so as of early 2025, 71.5% of Americans report using AI tools for search at least occasionally, with 14% using them daily. Who is a daily user of AI? I'm guessing we're all at this point.
Yeah.
But isn't that amazing how only 14% of people are using it daily, even though 71.5 say they're using it at some point?
But for search though.
Yeah,
For search.
Finding products and services and
or information.
Recommendations.
Yeah. I mean,
information.
That's how I use it. For me, that's how I mostly use AI. I don't necessarily use it. Well, I use it for summarizations, and stuff like that. But I haven't really used it from a pure marketing perspective.
Well, from now on, I mean, like the new O3 that just came out 2 or 3 days ago, it will automatically search for an answer before it gives you an answer. If it doesn't, or if it thinks it needs to search for an answer.
Yeah. And that's cool, John. I put, I think before a few months ago, ChatGPT couldn't read outside links. So I think it can now. It's just making my whole world just crazy different. It's
But by default, it's checking itself by searching.
Yeah.
Which is what it should have been doing all along when you think
it didn't have the capability to actually.
Oh, yeah, you're right. But that's what you wanted from the beginning. I liked when I first saw Perplexity giving you the sources it's using to come up with all that stuff. I thought, why didn't ChatGPT do that from the beginning? I actually like when you tell me not just the numbers or whatever, but where you're getting it. Where's your source? So I really like that. Let's see, one more thing do I have here? No. That leads us into the stock market stuff. All right. Good news. Good news about the stock market. Let me take this away. Stock market is not down today. That's good news, right? It's not down today.
Good. That's good. Maybe we hit the bottom.
Know why it's not down today? It's not open today. It's Good Friday. That's the only reason it ain't down today.
I knew there was something to Brent. I knew
there was something.
Yeah, I didn't even.
There was some kind of catch.
It's better to not be down than to be down like the 400 or 500 points a day. And from last week, at this time last week to this time today, NASDAQ is down another 2% for the week. And I think the Dow is down about 1.5%. So we haven't had like a really good plus week since February? Once again, thank you, Pierre. I'll take that. So once again, I have to ask you guys, how you feeling about things? How you from last week to this week? Leland, why don't you go first?
I've not really focused much on it. Just it's more of, it's not necessarily that I've just been in my programming and I've been looking at projects. I know that there's been more changes with the tariffs with China, and I mean, I would love for him to do it differently. I do still think that we do need to bring production of a variety of things back into America, such as pharmaceuticals. Uh, Most heavy metal or precious metals come from China, especially magnets, which go into generators, alternators, any kind of electricity, transformers. I'd love to be able to see that come over more. If I were to do it, if I were in his shoes, I would just kind of stick with like a 10% and then kind of ratchet it up just to say it's coming. You got a couple of years to bring it over here. But it is hurting some small businesses. I would love to see it differently, but I think that he is trying to coerce China into playing his game, and China is as strong-willed as Trump, maybe even a little bit more. So it's two hard heads kind of butting heads. And unfortunately, yeah, we're hurting from it. But we are seeing good results from other countries. The EU is coming to play, UK, Australia, Mexico, Canada. They're wanting to play. They're wanting to negotiate.
I love how Ramon is over here commenting. You want to add anything to your comment there, Ramon?
Nah, that's it. I'll leave it at that. What's up, Jennifer Jasper? So glad you're here. Jennifer Jasper, if y'all don't know, an amazing, amazing human. God ain't petty, but I am. A whole t-shirt and more line. God ain't petty, but I am. If you put in the discount code Ramon Ray, you'll add 20%. No, God ain't petty, but I am. Thanks for being here, Jennifer.
Dude, you're like the Flavor Flav of the small biz hype person. And that's a good thing.
I know. Thank you.
Flavor's a good thing. All right, Shashi, how you feeling about this? Where we are now?
So I was thinking about this this morning. Like everything that I read is bad news, right? But I think that's a problem because you should continue to talk about the bad news. Yes, everybody's portfolio is down. People are feeling bad. I'm wondering if there's anything positive in this whole thing. And if I were to like scratch and find and say, like, I think the negotiation for drug prices is a positive thing, whether it happens or not. No question, a lot of bad things that are happening, especially the kind of, the reputation as far as how people are being treated when immigration raids occur is definitely a problem, right? But medicines is one thing. I don't believe everything in manufacturing should move to the US. I think that's not going to benefit anyone. The manufacturing that should move to the US is what US is very good at, futuristic. What should we manufacture 3 years from now that's going to change the world? It could be chips, it could be anything else, right? Now, I do feel like there is a little bit of the world is waking up and saying, let's not take the US for granted. That could have been done by anybody in different forms. So we just have to wait and see like how this will play out. I think everybody in the US also has a finite patience and capacity to react. So I think a lot of people are just saying, let's be patient. That's my take on this. I'm not happy with the stock market.
All right, Ramon.
Yeah, listen, as I said last week, I think that I want to say that I hope all the things that the president and his administration is doing will work, especially on the economic side. But I think the instability, I think we all agree, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, the instability, that's not good for anyone. No one likes that. And I think, Shashi, you said the proverbial word, because we know, getting deep into politics right now, we know that 50% of the people are never going to like President Trump, didn't vote for him, whatever it is. And then there's 50% of the 50% that are totally anti him, just rabid. We get that. The other 50% now who either voted, tolerated, leaning towards conservative, whatever, as Shashi said, 25% of that, they will vote for him, whatever he does. If the stock market tanks, goes away, and the whole world collapses, they'll still vote for President Trump. But the other 25% of the 50%, of the conservatives, patience, Shashi, you said it right, because they're like, we're conservative, we voted for him, but nah, this instability, anybody but him could be talk soon if this continues. So,
All right. So, Mr. Lawson, I'm going to prop up something. I don't know. This might fit into what you're going to say, but you shared this with me. I want to get to this one there. You shared this to me, and it's almost sort of echoing what Jennifer is saying. How does this that you posted? How does this represent how you're thinking right now?
I haven't changed my thoughts at all since last week for sure. But I've been hearing a lot of feedback from e-commerce sellers, and I think our industry is getting hit very disproportionately from maybe some of these other industries, because a lot of people produce products in China. I mean, it's always been a big thing where we go to the China, show and see what the new products are. And, most of them are importers. They flip it, sell it on Amazon or eBay-ish. And so they're seeing a lot of crazy numbers. I think you're going, I'm hearing some very heart-wrenching kind of stories of people not being able to keep up. But at the same time, which is weird, because I got a lot of friends internationally, so from different countries. And
yeah, that would be what internationally is from
from different countries. But I'm saying not just international from like one country. I'm hearing it from my UK friends, from my Australian friends, that I don't think that we here in the bubble understand the conversation that's being had outside the bubble. And that really is more concerning to me than anything. It's like, it's almost like if you were in a relationship and your partner cheats once and it's like, oops, my bad, that won't happen again. It's like, no, I get it, because I'm divorcing your ass. And that's kind of the feeling that a lot of people seem to be communicating to me. It's like we're not playing these games with America ever again. Now, maybe that'll come back. It could be this, instant feel and it will change, but I don't know. I think there's some deep damage that's been done by these actions recently.
Anybody have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think going on the diplomatic side, on the national side, I should say, or the international side, I agree with you on that, John. I think that the relationships America for years has been I think the word is harbinger, I'm not sure, but has been the catalyst of being the police of the world, which I think hasn't been bad per se. So I think, John, for me, even though you and I may, we having some fun here, disagree on the high level of politics, but I think what we agree here, John, is that how it's done, I think, is problematic. On that high level, you don't just come in and say, hey, screw you, Europe. Hey, Africa, we're not funding you. Hey, South America, no more rice, whatever it is. No, that stuff needs to be done at least a bit thoughtfully. 50 years, whatever it is, after the United Nations, after World War II. These are some things that people are used to. Hey, Amber, really? So I think that, to your point, that even for myself, I think there's an advantage for America being the proverbially good policeman of the world, and then ripping that all apart. It opens the door for others. China's going to come right in there and say, hey, we'll fund you, Russia.
Yeah, I think they're already doing that too.
Yeah, correct.
What about, do you think, because a lot of the headlines are around, China versus UA, and it's really focusing on like, the large enterprises, all the stuff with the chips, and Trump took smartphones and computers out of the tariffs. Guess who that benefits? The big
China
manufacturer. Yeah, but also Apple and all these other big folks.
Right.
But what about the small folks? Are we actually not talking enough about what the impact of these tariffs on the actual small business? Because a lot of them source, and this, John, a lot of these folks source all the stuff that they sell from China. So it seems like disproportionately, it's the small businesses that are taking the big hit here.
Yeah, somewhat. And here's the thing. I don't know what percentage of small businesses actually, import their products from China. But I know a lot of businesses that, like, I got a friend, she's got a juice business, right? And the product is made here in America, but of course the fruits and stuff are international, but the actual packages, the bottles, those do come from China. The labels come from China. Boxes come from China. And so a lot of packaging, just in general, is created in China and brought over here. So it's like there's a downstream impact for a lot of small businesses right now that you're going to see in the next few weeks, months, for sure.
I guess when those tariffs really kick in, I mean, we're still at the beginning stages of it, but I mean, are you hearing from folks that are already feeling the impact of the tariffs, or is everybody kind of fearing that upcoming?
Well, the fear, if I may say, I mean, John's the expert in this, in this circle here, e-commerce and all that, but I think the fear, Brent, that's the big thing right there. It's the fear. I mean, the reality is, you say, I don't know if it's this week, next week, though, CNBC, who knows how it affects today, but it's the fear. I mean, I think John's point was, in which you share I'm not sure if it was Reddit, whatever the thing you shared on the screen. What I got from scanning that was, he said, we have to save our pennies for a rainy day because we don't know what's coming. It's too late to do it in 6 months. You have to save now and get ready now. So I think that's that's the point. And Amber agrees with me. She's saying, Ramon, Ray, exactly everything you say, Ramon, is point blank right.
I saw exactly. I didn't see Ramon in front of it.
You got to read. You got to read.
I'll read better.
Yeah, I thought, Ramon, you said beer instead of fear, because I have an example, right?
Oh,
Like the
I like
last
the beer,
time the tariff was raised on beer in my local shop, and it's Friday, right? We can talk about beer and small businesses too. So my local shop is a small business. I always go because very friendly service, talks to me, we exchange a few thoughts. It's really good. But the price went from and I'm a cheap guy, you all know that. So from $7.99 to $11.99 for
That's
the brands
pretty
that I
steep.
was drinking.
Yeah.
The Chinese one went to $15.99, and I stopped drinking it. Right? Now I go there, I spend a few minutes looking at all the prices, and I've started saying, at this point in life, let me take the hit on the price and buy some beer I like from another country, rather than just say hey, let me go alcohol free, like I took Ramon to a meatless restaurant. So I think consumers will make choices based on what's coming up. Now, the most important thing is, did they save or not? For example, I don't remember where this was, but consumers are going to pay more than $3,800 a year more was the impact of the tariffs, right?
Yeah.
$3,000 a year for what?
The
Just
impact
in
of the
general.
tariffs. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In general, right? And now 3,000 is a lot of money to people who are an average American family income, which I think is 85,000, right?
That's the average
That's
American income, family income.
family income is
86?
family 85 or 80,000 or 85,000. Now that's the voice we need to hear, right? They may be small business owners, they may be just consumers, they may be working. They still don't know how this is going to affect, because it's going to take a couple of weeks, if not months. And by the time, hopefully, things get better.
Well, I don't know how closely you guys keep track of. I believe me, I didn't start really getting into this until recently. I actually listened and watched Jerome Powell's speech this week.
Oh, God.
The chairman of the Fed. Well,
Wow.
I think, it's not that I want to do that, but I feel like you got to start paying attention to stuff that you really didn't want to pay attention
That's
to
right.
before.
It's an important speech.
It
Mhm.
was, and it's in direct contrast, or getting ready to butt heads with the president.
That's right.
And
Why
to
the president
point-
wants to fire him.
and that's where I was going to. We already
Sorry.
have a lot of chaos. No, this is perfect. We're working. We're a team here.
Okay.
So we are, already facing a lot of chaotic stuff. A lot of decisions made one day seem to be, walk back, or I like to call it moonwalk back, because it's going pretty fast. So there's already a lot of chaos and uncertainty in the market. and in the economy. What do you think will happen if Jerome Powell, the head of the Fed, he's been there since I think he was nominated by Obama back in 2014 or something like that. And they usually have 12-year terms. So he's already going to be on his way out because he ain't coming back. Oh, actually, I was wrong. Trump was the one who nominated.
I was about to say, Trump put him in.
Trump put him in. That's right. So this is the guy he put in. And it seems like ever since he put this guy in, he's done nothing but try to tear him down. But this guy has been pretty steady throughout all the stuff that's happened. COVID, the Great Recession, all the Great Replacement, all that kind of stuff. And the economy, has been better than most people have expected over all the ups and downs and turns. What happens when you factor on top of all this tariff and trade war stuff? What happens, do you think, if he fires or tries to fire this guy? How does that impact the way you see things?
Brent, I don't like to agree with my friend Jennifer Jasper. We disagree on a lot of politics, probably, and Jennifer hints at or gets to know that. But her comment and the uncertainty he's not using, talking about Jennifer Jasper's President Trump, and John Lawson's President Trump, he's not using logic to make any decisions. Firing the Jerome Powell, you talking about fear and just stuff that is just not right. It's anyhow, somebody, I'm stuttering because that's the thing that just, I'm like, no, you don't fire the voice of reason who you used to like a day ago. That's the biggest part of not using logic. It's going to be bad for the markets. I'll put it that way. That's what I'm trying to say. It'll be, I think, horrific. You talk about fear and uncertainty, him firing him and bringing in, a yes person, somebody who's in his circle. Ooh, I fear that. I'll probably move in with John and Shashi.
No. I fear that.
Leland, what about you? What's your thoughts on that kind of scenario?
I see both sides. Yes, there's fear, there's uncertainty when it comes to taking out someone, especially that he did actually appoint, as he said. But it's kind of hard to work with someone who is all of a sudden who is starting to become more obstinate and becoming a bit of a hindrance to Trump. I know that it's good to have someone in place that's questioning you, but there comes to an extent because he is still the president. He still has a plan, and guys might not like this, but I mean, during his first term up to the third year, the economy was great. He does have a plan, and it does not do Trump any good if he has someone that is completely hindering him. He needs to have someone that does do voice of reason, but also still works with him. It's like, if you're the CEO and you have someone that's under you and he's doing everything he can to stab you in the back, that's not necessarily good. You come to, if you have your employee who says, I don't know if that's such a good idea, but if you do decide to do that, I'll work with you. I'll try to make your vision the best I can, but these are my hesitations on it. That's where I would be the best as a middle ground.
Hey, Leland. Sorry. What do you think? I'm serious. Jennifer said this. What do you think if President Trump brought in a Fox News personality? Would you? Is that okay?
Isn't that the hiring track right now? And I'm not being funny about that either.
I just think that kind of thing would be. What do you think, Leland? I mean, is that cool with you? Just just some personality who was 20-year reporter and is like, yes, I want them.
If it's just a reporter, no.
I mean, reporter who knows finance,
if they've worked in the finance and then became a reporter, and has experience. It just depends on the person.
Well, he did have Larry Kudlow there, but he begged out. And I think it was the first term.
Yeah, Larry Kudlow's a smart guy. Listened to his show on radio. I seems smart.
Yeah, he didn't last too long though, because this is the problem. I think that is going to always be the case when working with a personality like Trump, who really believes he knows everything, and he doesn't like when he's challenged by people who know way more than he does. Instead of hiring those people and letting them do that and then taking the credit for what those guys do, it feels like he wants not only the credit, but he wants to do it his way, even if his way goes against like 99% of the folks in that particular profession. That's the biggest issue, I think. So I don't think Jerome Powell. I think Jerome Powell has been pretty much the same guy. His main charge is trying to make sure the economy stays afloat, not to make any one president look good or bad. But unfortunately, we have a president that doesn't view it like that. Anybody? John, you've been quiet there. What do you think about all this?
I don't keep up enough to really talk through this one intelligently, so that's why I'm kind of quiet. But I kind of agree with it's weird because if
are you going to say you're going to agree with Leland? I just want to make sure I got my face right for that. Go ahead.
Almost. Yeah, that's why I'm like, this is weird because it is true. If my team doesn't do what if we're going in a direction and I'm heading the ship and I'm like, you guys, your job is to, help me accomplish these goals. I'm the goal setter, that's my job. And their job is to help me achieve that goal. When they see obstacles, then you bring the obstacles, and together, as a team, we all figure out how to overcome those obstacles.
Okay, let me just add something real quick.
Yeah,
the Fed is an independent.
It is.
So his job is not to please any particular president. It's to keep the economy on track. I agree.
That's
based on what's going on. He makes adjustments. Like if inflation is too hot, they raise the interest rates. If unemployment is too low, they do other things. It's not about pleasing the president. It's about making sure our economy is running as smoothly and as efficiently as possible.
And right, but he did get out there. But he did get out there and point to the actions of the president when he was making these determinations.
When he was asked the question, he said, "What are the ramifications?"
But I'm just saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He made those.
But it's not aimed at trashing the president. Somebody asked him, "What does this mean to the economy?" And he answered the way he should answer, not to make it. Well, we might be better off if we didn't do this, but I'm going to go and back. No, that's not his job. He's not a part of the cabinet. He's a separate, independent entity, and his charge is to make sure the economy runs as efficiently as possible and stay away from things like runaway inflation, stagflation, high unemployment. That's the way it's always been.
And staying out of politics, Brent. That's the other thing.
Staying out of politics.
I haven't followed the Fed so closely until the last few years, but I do think, for what I've seen, the Fed, whoever that may be over the years, has stayed out of it, and I think that's something we should. The last institution of government that seems non-political and like, no, listen, we don't care about even wars and all this. Our job is one thing: is the economy on track? That's it. So if he and his team, I think there's a few people who vote and all that stuff, stay on that. It's kind of a safety net. It's hard to say, Leland, I get your point. But if I was President Trump, it could be interesting for him to say, you know what? This is the last bastion of person who won't be a yes man to me or yes woman. Let me keep them around. I know he won't, but that's kind of what I would want to do. Like, even, I must say, if I ever ran for president, I'd have people around me who were not politically in line with me just to keep me thinking sanely,
right,
doing the right thing.
That's like Lincoln with the team of rivals.
I think that's like your banker.
Yes.
He's on the team, but he's not a yes man.
Right.
He's got an agenda that he's got to. So I get that. Yeah, I
think just generally speaking, you don't want a president that just surrounds himself with yes people.
Correct.
Because he'll only get the side of the thing that he wants to get.
It's like this show here, Brent. I mean, could you imagine if it was just you, John, and Shashi? Could you imagine? I mean, this show would be so tilted. It's like, people wouldn't get the truth.
We would just sign up Jennifer and Amber to take.
Jen has to join one day. I mean, thankfully, me and Leland are here to. Let me just stop. It just we're here to make sure the truth.
No, I like the balance we have because I mean. And once again, I always say this, but every week we're able to talk about stuff and disagree without getting crazy with each other. And I think that's really important. I wish the country operated like we're able to operate here when you think about it.
They do.
We do.
They actually, I think at some level they actually do. Now on TV, when you put the cameras on,
Yes.
it changes.
TV
Yeah.
doesn't,
Yeah.
but the world does. And I think John, you were telling me, I think in private on the show, you were saying how when you went on TV, was that you? How you were saying how they
Yeah.
wanted you to speak certain ways and do certain things. I know I had that experience, and that's when I said, "Listen, y'all know I want a mic anytime I can get on Fox, MSNBC, CNN." But they started overtly saying, "Oh, great, we got a guy of certain persuasion, double certain persuasion." Start trashing this president and that. I said, no, I can't. I can't do that. I know my politics, and you can guess where I am, but I ain't trashing somebody like you want me to do. I'm not Jesse Waters, Jennifer Jasper. So I'm not going out like that.
He might be our next Fed, so you never. No, I'm just kidding.
You might never know.
I sincerely hope I'm kidding on that one. All right. Any last thoughts before we move on to something else?
If you don't mind, Brent, one more thing. I'm just curious, John, when JD Vance is president, do you think it'll get better, John? When JD Vance is president, do you think it'll be any better in three years and 8 months, whatever the time frame is?
Don't get me started, please.
Back to you, Brent. Go ahead, quickly, Brent. Quickly.
Once again, you have a great talent for tossing it back to me when you toss a turd out there like that. Just thought I put that out there. All right. Well, let's move on to one of our other favorite subjects. AI. And I would love to find out if you had this like grade on a scale of 1 to 10, how properly, I don't know if this is the right term or not, how properly do you think small businesses are using AI to move their business forward on a scale of 1 to 10?
The average small business, probably about a 4, maybe.
4, yeah.
So you got 2 4s. Shashi?
Are we thinking a majority of small businesses are already using AI?
Shashi, that's not fair.
That's a good point.
Shashi, Leland and John have answered, Shashi. Now you're like going to a vegan Vietnamese restaurant. Just answer the question.
I'm eating this one.
I'll say 4.
All right. By the way, Jennifer is already chimed in with 3. So there you go. We got 3s and 4s. Ramon?
I'm biased. I'll take 3.5. Because you're right. If you took the average, not those in the bubble, I'm going with 3.5.
What's the main thing that they aren't doing right in your mind with AI? Anybody?
I'm not even sure if they're using it at all,
Yeah.
or using it fully. I think they're using it like the stats so you can play around with. If they do a Google search, any company can say, "Oh, 99% of small businesses are using it." But I think, as we know on this panel and those here, like when you said average, are they really going to Claude or Chat GPT and doing the minimal? I don't think most are at all.
Nah.
That's
the inside the bubble crew, like everybody here. I don't think.
Correct.
I bet if you ask the man on the street, the woman on the street, mom and pop, "Hey, how are you using Claude?"
Right.
You'd be like, "Who's he?"
Exactly.
I don't see a barber going to Chat GPT to do, this, that, or the other thing. They're just cutting hair. And, again, maybe if it's integrated in with QuickBooks, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or if it's integrated with another tool, or like there's a story that Small Biz Trends put out that Gmail is actually integrating AI to help you sort through your mail a lot better. Once that becomes a little bit better to use and a little bit easier to access and a lot more, people are using it, I could see then people, small business owners using AI, but it's integrated in with the tools that they're already using, not necessarily going directly to Claude or ChatGPT or something like that to come up with marketing ideas or something like that.
I want to this is my thought completely. I think people are still very content creation biased with AI. Most of the new developments like MCP, and that's what Anthropic is behind that, I think, are aimed at development opportunity. Yeah, I think there's this huge group of people that are definitely using it purely for content creation.
Yeah, but I'm going to say there is not. I'm still giving you a 4 even on that.
Oh,
I didn't think they're even using it.
I didn't say they were using it effectively. I just said they're using it.
Oh no, I'm saying they're not using it. Have you seen the content that comes out from these small?
That's what I'm
business
saying.
owners?
I don't think they're using it effectively. That's what
But
I'm
John,
saying.
are you saying, John? But I think Brent. Again, Brent can speak for himself. But I think is the thing of that those who are using it, or Pierre started, I guess, those who are using it, it's on the content creation side. I just want to clarify the nuance.
I think they're using it mostly to push out.
Yeah.
Make it's easier for them to push stuff out.
Right.
Not
That's
saying
I
that
think
what
you
the
were
stuff
saying.
they're pushing out is great, or if they're using it to be more strategic in how they get it in front of people. I just think, at least right now, it feels like because it's so easy to do, more stuff is coming out, regardless of if it's really strategic stuff or stuff that's meant for a particular audience. It's just easier for them to do. And to me, that's the biggest, outside of not using it all, I guess. I think the biggest problem or issue or challenge is if you think you're using it to reach your audience in a more effective way, I don't think that's happening at all. I think it's easy enough for people to push stuff out. That means everybody can push stuff out. It makes it very difficult for your stuff to actually get through the filter, even though you think that's the way it is going to get through.
Most small business owners are outsourcing their content creation anyway, and the content creators are using AI to make that content. Most of them. Many of them. I don't know what the numbers are, but when I talk to a lot of small business owners, I don't sit there and they're like, well, I'm in my content create. They outsource most of that. Somebody on Fiverr is doing that for them.
Interesting. Jennifer says she uses it for tech support, which I think you are a diamond in the rough there, Jennifer, using it for that. Most people are not sophisticated enough to actually, when I say that, I mean like general Main Street small business. They're not sophisticated enough to actually, they benefit from it tremendously, but I don't know if they're sophisticated enough to do what you're doing. But thanks for putting that out there.
So I started doing this this week. I'm kind of creating the script to try to make B-roll automatically get put into a video. And I actually started using ChatGPT as a method for coding, which is something that I've, dabbled with a little bit.
Are you doing like vibe coding kind of stuff?
What's vibe coding?
All right. So it's like there's a service out there called Cursor, where it basically you're able to use your voice to walk through what kind of application you need to build, and it'll actually go out and build it.
Coding for kids.
Yeah, well, yeah, kind of like that, I think. Although professionals are using this stuff,
I meant to say
so much faster.
Easier coding,
Yeah.
Easier coding.
Well, I just put in ChatGPT. I actually found something close to what I wanted in a different language, and I gave it to ChatGPT, and I said, make it in PHP, because that's the language that I am most familiar with. And it came back with something. It didn't work all quite the way, and so I had to keep tweaking it. And every so often, I would send it back to ChatGPT. Hey, I get this error message. What's going on?
Yeah.
And it'd be like, oh, this is what's going on. This is what you need to do. Or you could also do this. And it's very useful to be able to do this back and forth with ChatGPT and help me go through this. And so I started the project yesterday, and I came out with something viable by the end of the day, which, if I would have started trying to do this and learn all the technology on my own, I would have been doing it. It would have taken me about a week or two to get where I am right now. It's very fascinating to see.
And Pierre says he uses cloud for Veticode. These, once again, we're in the bubble. Most of these folks have no clue what's going on. I think they only get you can get it to do a 500-word proposal or something like that. That's a great way to use it, but it shouldn't stop there. Let's put it like that. You should definitely do more around it. So what do you think it's going to take for the 4s and the 3s to get up close to the 7s and the 8s and, dare I say, 9s or 10s?
I don't think, Brandon, will ever happen. I think where it's going to launch into, it'll be embedded into the software they use. I think the Intuits and QuickBooks and Adobes and Salesforces and all the tools we use. Most people know that. Jennifer Jasper, she uses probably some of these tools, meaning, the regular small business person, not that Jennifer is, but, the average small business person, when Zoho has it, when Keep has it, when all these tools have it, then It will be used, but I don't think it's going to be the majority in the bubble like we're doing it. And I think, side note, just go back, Brent, something you said, Brent, I think you were there, John could have been there, and Shashi, or yeah, all of us were there when Sridhar, the former CEO, founder of Zoho, I think he said in his last year speech or speech before, he was talking about AI, and he said something like, when the bots start to make bots, or when AI starts to make AI, yeah, it's good on the front end, but that's when it gets like with the stuff Leland's doing, which I'm not doing. I'm not a coder, but like when the programmers make new programs for us,
Oh, that's
that to
happening
me
now.
sounds like double maximization.
Yeah, that's happening now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just what was it, Tuesday? Canva just came out with their new version.
That's right.
It's got coding in it, kid coding for kids. I like that. And you could tell just the way they were rolling it out. It's almost impossible to communicate to small business owners right now what that means, how to actually use it. I mean, if you've never done anything with code, then trying to do what Leland's even doing seems like a whole, another world for them.
Well, even when I'm doing the coding and I'm going, I know what I'm doing. I'm looking at it and I'm able to actually tweak and make changes and suit it for the environment that I'm coding in. And that comes from learning how to code and going to school for it. And that's something that the average small business owner is not going to be able to necessarily do. And so if you're a small business owner, you don't know how to code and you're trying to use AI to code an app or something like that, you have to take whatever it gives you. You may be able to go out to Fiverr and have someone tweak it. That's, possible, but not necessarily the most convenient thing to do. It's either that or you take it as it is.
The 80 million or whatever the latest number is of small businesses in the US, right? I think what we're talking about will probably fit the 5 million of early adopters, highly tech. I'll give you an example of my local barbershop. Been going there for almost 20 years. Unfortunately, the owner passed away and his granddaughter took over. Never seen anything change except now she's using, instead of the bank payment system, she's using Clover, which is a little bit easier, right? Now, where I see if Clover is going to introduce a system where as soon as I come, I just tap my card and whoever is the hair cutting person who's assigned to me gets this thing of like, this is Shashi. He likes like 3 on top and 2 on the sides. They would appreciate that, but somebody has got to go and sell them. They're not going to be creating it on their own. I think last time we discussed John's example. They will use it when this owner goes back home and starts wrangling spreadsheets. And then John, as a consultant, says, you don't have to spend 5 hours on this. Use AI to do step 1, 2, 3, and here are the results you want. They'll absolutely use it. But 20 years ago at Ramon's Small Business Technology Conference,
20 years.
Yeah.
we talked about how do small businesses adopt technology. They ask others, whether it's a coach, friend, other business, or probably go to Small Business Trends. That applies today too. So they're not looking for, hey, I need Chat. And to tell you frankly, they all know what Chat GPT is but they don't necessarily want to spend time today like, hey, I have everything that I need, right? I just need more customers. Probably that's their
And
problem.
Shashi, to your point, Shashi, I love what you just said. Mentioning Clover is a great example. Clover's that stable takes, basic, small business implementer at the basic level. Boop, scan your card. Basic point of sale system. It could do so much more, inventory more. But that's the perfect example. The barbershop lady, she don't give a darn. And as we know, going back to Inside the Bubble, 2 things. Clover has the sales team trying to keep her in there, telling them all the stuff we have that Clover has, and or upselling her to use it, and or just even adoption of that word, what is it? Utilization. So I just wanted to echo on that, Shashi, and that's where AI comes in. Then they'll start saying, hey, you don't have to be open on Saturdays for 4 hours because we've detected at most all that fancy stuff. That's what your barber shop, but she ain't going to do it on her own. Most will not.
Yep.
By the way, look, John, cousin Lisa's here today.
Hey,
Look
what's
at
up,
that.
cousin Lisa?
Don't worry. Thanks for joining us, but don't worry, I'll be roasting your boy later today. So just be ready for that. All right, man. You know what? This is. I like this conversation. I just don't know. I mean, there's so much going on. Everything is accelerating. Traditional small businesses seem to be losing ground as every week goes by. If you got the, let's say, non-adoption of some of these things we're saying are going to be critical to being a successful business in the future, and you have these tariffs in this China war, and a lot of small businesses are affected disproportionately by that. What do you think small business is going to be a year from now? Generally speaking, what shape do you think U.S.-based small businesses will be in a year from now?
Listen, since Shashi shouted me out about my event 20 years ago, I'll just go first.
That's why you go. Wait, where's the rationale?
I think I just had to find a reason, Brent. You don't. I had to find a reason. No, I thought nobody would notice, Brent. Come on now. I just find, Brent, that we're going to be fine. Meaning it's the ebb and flow of life and economy. I think some will close, some will not. COVID was an extreme example, right? That was an extreme example. But I think the U.S. economy is strong enough, big enough. We're going to weather it for the next 3x years. That's just my view. I don't think anything's going to be decimated. I think this is just the ebb and flow, the natural evolution of small business journey. It struggles, but there's good hope for those of us who can weather it and keep on innovating and thinking different and serving our customers.
Yeah, I'll dovetail. I'll come in on that. I completely agree. It's just some troubled waters right now, but there's like I said before, there's always something. This is huge, but this will pass, and there will be a lot of opportunity here. I'm sure someone is going to come in the market where there's a hole that's being left. So it'll be fine a year from now, 2 years from now.
I think I agree with both these gentlemen. I think COVID taught us that small businesses are resilient. It's not saying that a lot of restaurants closed, a lot of other businesses closed, but I think there are reasons why that's kind of cyclical. I think if we have to give advice, like be very cash conservative, don't overextend yourself, like the old method of VCs dumping money and saying grow at all costs is not going to be there in the future. So be conservative as far as money is concerned.
I'd go with what these guys were saying. Find the silver lining within it. So even within COVID, out of it, we got delivery. Delivery, DoorDash, Uber Eats, and we even have a local delivery in our little area called like 411 to go or 541 to go. And so now we have a lot of these restaurants who before COVID weren't delivering and were just relying on people coming in and sitting down or picking orders up. And now there's another arm to it where deliveries are actually happening. So as a small business,
and they like it better.
Yeah.
The restaurant owners like that better because they don't have to have a lot of staff in the restaurant.
Yeah, they could handle bigger volumes with less people. And make more money out of it. And so my advice would be just find the silver lining, find the aspect of this that you can actually succeed, especially within your competition. Find what they're not doing, and it may be AI, it may be a new partner to where you get supplies from. Find that and try to succeed where others may fail.
I can't believe you guys all agree. I'm trying to remember.
Don't you agree?
You know what? I'm not a part of this love fest of you guys.
Oh, okay. What do you think?
I said a year. I don't think anything gets solved in a year that's going on right now. I think Shashi said it earlier. some of the things that decisions being made and the games kind of being played, and our adversary, or not our adversaries, our allies, they kind of feel like they're being treated like adversaries. I don't know if everything gets straightened out in a year. I'm not saying that we're doomed forever, but I think depending on how this tariff trade war thing shakes out and how long it is allowed to fester, I think the longer it festers, the more and the longer the impact of the festering is. So I don't think we're going to be a year from now. I don't know if we're going to be better or worse. I'm not saying it's going to be totally worse. I don't know if it's going to be any better. And I don't know what you can project a year from now other than uncertainty and chaos like we've already got. I don't know. I would love to feel like you guys, though.
Hey, John, let me just tell you why Brent feels that way, John. And you'll agree with me on this, John.
Uh-oh.
That's because when you think you look at me and Leland and you, John, you and I are the small business owners, right? The group. We grind, we hustle, we got to work for what we do. You think of Brent and Shashi, they fly first class, they go to these big conferences, they got these big retainers. And I'm serious, these guys, they're in the bubble. So we love them, they're our friends, but it's just, that's why Brent, you and me and Leland, John, we wear the small business mantle. They are observers, like they have the cheesecake, just kind of like, oh, wow, look at her business. So that's kind of why it is, John.
That's it. That's you got it.
Shashi, do you want to say anything about that? And by the way, what flavor of cheesecake do you like? No, I'm just kidding.
Shashi's
No,
never
but, actually, Ramon, respectfully, you may actually be in the bubble because you're very tech savvy, you're forward looking, you'd like to bring all the small businesses along with you, right? So more power to you.
You're not my friend, Shashi. I'm gonna take you to a pork beef restaurant next time. Only serve pork and beef. Trust me.
No, but I think there are different perspectives. You're right. Like we have a different perspective than you, and most of this comes from talking to businesses rather than doing it ourselves. So you're absolutely right.
Anyway, I appreciate the net optimism. I would love to be a part of it. I hopefully will be. Anyway, all right. So we're at the top of the hour. Final thoughts. Ramon, what's your final thought?
Yeah, I think I'm going to say what I kind of always say, Brent. I just want to encourage all small business owners. And again, seeing Jennifer Jasper out here, having watched her journey for 3 or 4 years, and Amber and Pierre and others who are here, we just got to keep doing what we're doing, keep innovating, keep in the hustle, the good hustle, keep serving our customers. You know, it's not easy, but we chose this life to be business owners and entrepreneurs. We chose it. And so let's keep doing it and being nice to people, Like Brent, you said, this conversation, just being nice to people. Disagree, but be nice.
Mr. Lawson.
Just wait. That's all you can do right now. Just wait.
Hunker down and wait.
Yeah, I got to.
Hunker down and wait. All right. Shot
Yeah. Wait, duck and cover.
You went from like just wait to duck cover.
Which are two different things. Duck and cover and hunker and wait, two different things.
All right, Shashi.
I think be nice to everybody. That's pretty important. Be patient. Things will always get better.
Okay. Always get better. I like that. I like that positivity. Leland?
Be the light in your small business community, in your community as in general. You know, be the plumber that's going. You know, everyone wants to hire because you're so nice and you're not cantankerous or anything like that. Just be a pleasant small business to go to. I think that right there is the best thing that you can do, because then word of mouth is your best friend. Oh, that guy, he was delightful to work with. Or that store, oh, that store is amazing to go to. They treat you like family. Or that restaurant, the servers there are just wonderful. You can't, and the food is delicious. You're going to have a great time.
Damn, I want to end on a positive note, but I just saw this comment from Jennifer that says she thinks it's the beginning of the end.
Oh,
Jennifer.
China will be on top, but I'm moving forward in faith. At least he added it with a "but I'm moving forward in faith." So that's good. I don't know. I don't really. I'm just gonna leave it at that. All right. So I hope everybody has a great holiday weekend and hopefully a good next week. We will be asking you how you feel about things at the end of the week as well. But we are so glad Pierre, Jennifer, Amber. I'm trying to make sure I don't lose anybody. Lisa, that's right. And Ramon, because you commented as much as anybody else did in the comment section in addition to on the show. We appreciate it. We appreciate everybody checking this out. And 5 o'clock tonight, I'm schooling your boy as usual. You know what time it is. So we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Brent.
Thanks.